Today we're making a stack of 3 birds on top of each other. You did the cardinal drawing and you did such a good job on that I wanted to challenge you a little more, and now we're making 3 birds, and it looks like the top bird is smelling the flower. So maybe these birds were trying to help this one to get up there to smell the flower. Maybe his wings broke, he can't fly up there. All right, so we're going to get started. What you need is a pencil to get started. You will need something to color with. You decide what you want to use to color with. That can be crayons, markers, or colored pencils, or if you have something else, that works too. Okay, so my paper is going up and down, this time vertically. So it's not this way, it's not horizontal, it's turned this way, vertical, up and down. Okay. So the first step, I'm going to find the middle of my paper. So the middle of my paper is about halfway. Okay, and I'm going to start my first bird. I'll start it right about here, and I'm going to go like this, kind of like a half circle again, and then I'm going to stop. All right, the next line I'm making, just watch me before you draw this one. It has a curve to it. It's almost like a sideways S. I'm going up. I'm actually going to make this line a little longer because I want these two to connect. Okay, so that is my first bird, the bird that's in the middle. Now I'm going to give him an eye. I'm going to take my finger, 1 finger space, and I'll make an eye. I'm going to do a circle, and then I'm going to put another circle inside that circle. And I'm just going to fill the rest of this in. Just to make his eye have a little bit of a sparkle. All right, now I'm going to look where his eye is. So his eye is right here. I'm going to go a little bit lower than his eye, so I'm going to start from the bottom of his eye. I'm not drawing here, I'm just making an imaginary line going across, and I'm going to start right here. Here I'm going to make a sideways V for the beak. So when I turn it this way, this looks like the letter V. And then you can split that V, put a little line going across. So this is very similar to what we did with our cardinal drawings, but this one's a little bit different, so make sure you're paying attention. Now we're going to do the wing. So his wing is going to be going from this eye, I'm going across, a little bit down. And I'm going to start with a curve like this. Then I'm continuing this line here like a diagonal line, going down, 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 curve it around, and then back around and up to where I started. And you could add 2 little lines on there for feather lines. Now we're going to give him, his tail's a little bit different from the other one, the little tail feathers. We're going to do this a little different than the cardinal. So for this one, I'm going to go like this. This is kind of like those flower petals we drew when we did our flowers together. And I'm doing 3 of them. And see how they all go back to that same spot, that the end of the bird. So I have 3. Remember, just like always, I want you to try your best. If yours doesn't look exactly like mine, that is fine. I don't expect it to look exactly like mine. I just want you to try, okay? So try your best, and that will make me very happy. All right, so we have 2 more birds to draw, and then we're going to draw a flower. Okay, our next bird, we're going to go up here, and I'm going to start near the top. And what I'm gonna do, now this circle went this way. This one's coming from this side, so it's like this. So it's opposite. This one's going on the right side, and this one's my left side. So watch what I do, and then you can do it. So I'm gonna go around and back up, just like that. So it's another half circle. And then I'm going to do this line, again, a curvy one, but watch because it's a little different since they're opposite. So I'm going to go around, kind of in and back out, just like that. And then I'm going to give him his eye. I'm going to do a little bit of a space right about here. Circle. Another circle. The last circle we just did will stay white. The rest of it you can color in. Okay, now we're going to do a little beak for him too. Again, it's going to be below the eye, so here's the bottom of the eye. I'm just going to take my finger, it just helps. And we're going to do another V. So it's a sideways V. Like that. And then I'm just going to do another little line going across and stop. Okay, now I'm going to do his wing. And I'm going to go like that. Another partial circle or like a little hill. And then I'm going to go down, around, and back up to where I started. I'm going to put two little lines again. Okay, next we're going to do the tail feathers. And again, it's kind of like flower petals, up, around. And I'm doing it 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's bird number 2. Now we have bird number 3. The bird on the bottom that's carrying these other 2 birds. So he's going to go opposite from this one, facing the same way as this one. Now just watch what I do. That was a little confusing, so just watch. So I'm going to go around. I'm making him a little bit bigger. And up and stop. So around, up, and stop. Now we're going to do that curvy line again, kind of like this. And I'm going like that and back in and out, and we're going to make that little point at the end again that we made on the other birds. And now we're going to add an eye again. So his eye I'm going to put right about here. I'll do a circle, another circle, and then just fill it in. That last circle you drew is what stays white. The other one you'll color in. For his beak, I think I'm going to do it a little bit different this time. I'm going to do 2 V's. So I'll turn it this way. I think it'll make it easier. So I'm going to go like this. And again, I started under that eye. And I'm going to do another one here. So it's like his mouth is open. The other birds have their mouths closed. All right, so we have to add his wing and his tail feathers. We'll do the wing first. So I'm going to curve like this, kind of like a C. And I'm kind of copying this shape. So I'm going down and back up. Just like that. 2 lines again, 1, 2. Now I'm going to give him his tail feathers. Again, it's just like the petal of a flower like our colorful flowers we made. Okay, you'll notice they don't have legs yet, so that's something that we still have to add. I want to show you this again. So this is where we're going to, where we're headed. So we do have to add these legs, and we're going to add some grass on the bottom. I'm going to go maybe 1 or 2 finger spaces up. I'll do 2. Okay, and this doesn't have to be perfectly straight. The ground might not be even. I'm not going to go straight. It just has a little wave to it. And stop. Now, I did grass. You can do whatever you want, whatever color you want, however you want it. If you want to do your ground a little different, that's okay too. Okay, so once you have that line drawn, now we're going to start with the bird's legs. So before you do it, watch what I do. You'll notice they go in like this. They're both diagonal, but they're both going towards the bird's wing. Down. Okay. I'm going to start with the bottom bird. And his wing is here. And I'm going to do one line like this, but then I'm doing another one to make his leg a little bit thicker. And then I'm going to do another one, but it's going towards the wing, but it's going towards this way. Okay, so I'm going to go like this and do another line there. So that's the bird on the bottom, the one who's carrying all of these birds. Those are his legs. And now for this one, again, I'm going towards this wing here. So I'm going to go, we're going to the bird's head because this bird is standing on top of the other one's head. It's kind of silly. And then we're going to do another one. And we'll go about here, and we're going towards this wing again. 1 and 2. So there's our bird number 2. And bird number 3. Going towards this wing again. 1, 2, and then I'm going to do it again, going towards this wing again, and 1, 2. Okay, so our birds are now complete. Next, we're going to make a flower. So for this flower, we're going to do a curvy line. So watch what I do, and look here, see how it goes. It's like this curvy line that goes up and down. Now I'm going to do it. I'm going to start at this grass here. Let me put that up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go, maybe I'll turn it. It might make it easier for you to see. Okay, so I'm not going all the way to the top because I need space. So this space right here, I need this for my flower. Okay, so I'm just going up to maybe about here, like under this bird's beak. Okay, so curve up, curve back down, curve up, curve back down, curve up, and I'm gonna stop there. Okay, next you're going to copy that same shape, but you're going to have a little space out, just like kind of like how you did the legs. You copied this line here, but you gave a little space, but I'm going to do that here for the flower stem. So I'm just copying the shape, but I'm not hitting into that line. I'm allowing a little space just to make the stem thicker. And I'm going to stop once I get to the end there. Okay, now I'm going to turn my paper back. Alright, so for the flower, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my fingers. Now I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. Maybe it's one, we'll do 1 finger space. So I'll do 1 finger space, and then I'm going to draw a diagonal line, like I'm thinking about drawing a letter X, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just doing this line. This line goes bigger than the stem. And then I'm going to turn this into, if I turn my paper a little bit, I'm turning it into a capital D. Okay, now it's time for the flower petals. Watch what I do, and then you can do it. So it just goes out, around, and back up. Out, down, 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 around, and back up. Down, around, and back up. On this side, I'm going to get a little bit smaller. I'm going to make these a little bit smaller, kind of like a lowercase n, or actually it'll look like an M when I'm done. But these ones are a little smaller just because of the way we're looking at it. We're looking at this from the bottom up, and these will be just a little bit smaller. So it's kind of like an M. If I go down and back, it's a little different. Actually, it's more like a heart. Okay, so that's my flower. Now what I'm going to add some leaves. Okay, I think I'm going to do 3, but my other one I did 2. So I'm going to go like this. So you curve, make a point, and go back down, and then you could put a line through the middle of that. And now I'm going to go down a little bit, and I'm going to go repeat the same thing. This leaf is a little different. It looks a little wider. That's okay. And back. Put that line in the middle again. And then I'm going to do one more. 1 leaf for each bird, it looks like. Here we go again. Up, around, and back. Perfect. In this one I drew clouds. If you want to draw clouds, you can. You don't have to. If you want to draw a sun, you can. That's completely up to you what you decide for the next steps. Now, I used primary colors, red, yellow, and blue for my birds. You can color them however you want. I colored my flower red and yellow, but if you have a different idea, you can color your flower different. If you want to add more flowers, or if you want to add anything else in the background, maybe you want to put trees or something in the sky. Maybe there's an airplane or a hot air balloon behind it. So now you decide how you want to color your drawing. When you are all done, make sure you post your art in Seesaw.